Economic hitman. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, we suggest that you subscribe so that you hear things or perspective of someone who speaks different from the mainstream North Americans. If you read a book called Economic Hitman, this is a book written by an economist who then was going out forcing foreign governments to do certain things. Whatever he was going to do would be masqueraded as if it is going to benefit that country economically. They would have a hidden agenda that it will be benefiting the American government. It's a very good read. You should read it. We are not going to go into details about that book. Mr. Trump has come up with tariffs, which he claims to address the American trade deficit. As I said in my video, that America produces a lot per capita than any other country, but also consumes a lot in everything, be it in gas, car, and that also includes the recreational drugs. They consume more per capita than any other country on planet Earth. They produce a lot and they consume a lot. As a result, they will always have this trade deficit. They import more than they export. They owe more to foreign government than they are owed. Trump has come up with tariffs to say they're there to address the trade deficit. Now there is a leaked document. The document obtained by Washington Post. And in this document, there are supplementary negotiating objectives. It is emerging that these tariffs are not addressing trade deficit. No, they are used as an economic hitman to go out there, blanket foreign governments into concessions on what benefits the American regime, the Trump regime. Trump wants to use tariffs to pressure countries to offer concession for companies. There are various companies mentioned, but some of the companies, Chevron and Elon Musk's stuff, that is what is contained in that document. These tariffs are being used, and figuratively speaking, to hit these foreign companies into submission and offer concession to companies like Chevron and Elon Musk's Starlink. We have an African country, a little small country in Africa. I once looked at their GDP per capita, their gross domestic product per capita, but I can't remember it offhand right now. It's a small country with a very small gross domestic product output, very small. It's a country called Lesotho. It's actually surrounded by South Africa. It's inside South Africa. Small country surrounded by South Africa. A tiny little country. I would say, how tiny can I compare it to? I have no square kilometers offhand. A tiny little country, it says 50% tariffs because they wanted to grant renewable energy company called One Power it to develop energy development project and have a 5-year withdrawing tax exemption. A tiny little country with a population of less than 3 million is being targeted with a 50% tariff because of this company called One Power. They want that small little country to grant the renewable energy company called One Power a 5-year withholding tax exemption. Economic hitman. And one secret objective of pressurizing countries which borders with China to develop strong military ties with USA and offer United States military base. We are now learning that tariffs have nothing to do with addressing trade deficit, but they are actually economic hitmen. They also want to pressure India to hold purchasing Russian oil because India purchases much of its oil from Russia. Because of course, if his objective is to stop the war in Ukraine, I've always been against wars. I believe that wars, they have no place in this modern era. People in the past, they have savagely butchered each other. But I've always believed that in today's world, wars, they have no place. As human beings, we are more educated, we are more learned. We have these bodies which have been formed to address our grievances, like the United Nations, the world should always live in peace. That's what I believe. These are my personal beliefs. My personal beliefs is I'm against any violence. I believe in peace. Of course, say if there are these tariffs to India into halting purchasing Russian oil so that Russia submit to peace with Ukraine, I might be in favor of that, but I don't know whether it is the right route to go though, because the best is to get the two countries come to negotiating table, because wars have no place in today's world. Whether be the wars, senseless wars fought by America in Iraq, or with senseless wars being fought by Israel in Gaza, in my humble opinion, those wars could be avoided. In today's world, we are more educated and we work cooperatively with each other, that we can live in peace endlessly without any war a single day of our life. The war in Ukraine is costing a lot of human life and capital. It has to be avoided. This document sent shockwaves through the government. A significant share of that objective of Trump's tariffs, they say according to those documents, it's in combating China and Chinese influence across the globe. This is coming like what they did back during the Soviet era, where America is fighting communism wherever it emerges. In these documents, they also want to combat China's influence across the globe. I think it has always been whispered, or if not, and I've seen some documents on the internet that say generally the entire Western world wants to rise against the Chinese emerging economic power and superpower. We are now understanding that the Trump administration, the Trump as an economic hitman, has a hidden objective behind these tariffs is combating Chinese influence across the globe. They also want to combat Cambodia using tariffs to prohibit Chinese military developments near its Rim naval base. Because I've always wondered, these are tiny little countries with very insignificant economic output. Countries like Cambodia, countries like Vietnam, maybe Thailand to a certain extent, but Thailand largely depends on tourism. And so like the Trump administration want to use an economic man tariffs to prohibit Chinese military developments in Cambodia's real naval base. This is why Cambodia is being targeted with tariffs. And also we are learning that the Trump administration wants to pressure Israel to remove Chinese port ownership in the port of Haifa. The bottom line, the world is misled by the Trump administration that tariffs were there to address quote-unquote trade deficit. However, the true reality is being revealed to the world, that the Trump administration is using tariffs as an economic hitman in order to advance its hidden political economic agendas. We thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel.